Right, so explain to me why R. Kelly's in jail but Marcus Houston is not. Are we showing favoritism for the touchers?
Older women going after younger men. It is a disproportion. More men do that than women do. I agree with that.
The church mothers used to be after me though, real talk. The church mothers used to really be after me a lot, and that's not even trying to be a joke. That's just real talk. Like all my mom's friends used to be at.
Yeah,
For the one of you, there's probably 20 men that go for younger girls. For the one of you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to make sure we let Yamanika finish. Go ahead, Yamanika.
I also want to be very clear that to get into this tit for tat with men and women, I think anyone that deals with a child and they are an adult is a predator. I don't care if they are male or female. Of course, we've had situations with teachers who are also doing inappropriate things. And that's why we have to be cautious when they're in a type of environment around children, and you have to be careful of the adults we have. I'm talking more about the men that we know who will say things. And you guys have to remember, even though they constantly in the comments, constantly talking about why I keep bringing up Kevin Samuels, I bring him up because his legacy still lives on. When you had a man who was desecrating women based on vanity things like age, whether they have children or not, this quote unquote hoe phase, and getting these women when they're young before a hoe phase, that is all about control and manipulation, gaslighting, and grooming. Those are tactics that predators use. And it's easy to use those things and try to tear someone down to make them more palpable to the dynamic that you want. Let's be very clear. If a man is 38 years old and he's having a relationship with a girl that is 17 or 18, she is going to look up to him in certain ways, maybe even as a father figure, some type of authority figure, and that allows him to have control. So I'm not interested in having a conversation of fantasy about what's really going on. I understand, some men get upset about that because people don't want to be seen as predator. They don't want to be lumped in this category. I'm not doing that. I really fell in love with her. But even when we listen to him talk, none of the things that he said make sense. And it's like what I said earlier. If you're 38 and you can identify with a girl that is 17 years old, the issue is not the girl. She just being a 17, 18-year-old. The issue is the man who's 38 years old, who is mentally not capable of going with a woman that is beyond that age. And that's what he's identified that it is what he wants to do. I would not be interested in marrying a 17 or 18-year-old, knowing what we all know. We're all, Stephanie's almost 30. We're in our 30s and our 40s. The things that I knew when I was 18 and 19 are very different as an older person. And I also was I was a young girl who developed at 12 years old, breast, real breast, heavy, thick woman breast, hips, thighs. And I had a bunch of men approaching me to the point, and I would have the conversation would always be, oh, I didn't know you were only 12. I only know you was 13 years old. And I thought that was a credit to me. Wow, look at me. I'm able to get men who are older than me to look at me. And it wasn't until my grandfather sat me down and said, that's not an honor. And don't let those men fool you. They know you're young. They're going after you for ill reasons. So we have to be very careful. Not every man is doing that, but a good portion of men are doing that. And if I had a daughter, I wouldn't want my daughter to be with a man like that. And I'm sure if you had a daughter, you wouldn't want your daughter to be predatized by a man who was older like that.
Let's get into it, because I don't like the fact they showing favoritism. If one go to jail, everybody go to jail. Jail for everybody, okay? We don't show favoritism to the touches. We all seen this man interview, so I'm only going to repeating the words that came out of his mouth, right? Because I'm trying to figure out what conversation do a 30-something-year-old man and a 15-year-old have that puts them on the same level, that lets him know that this woman is the one. Because she was not a woman. She was still a teen. Anything that comes behind teen, if you're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, you are still a teen. You don't have adult attached to you. The only thing you are able to do is legally sign documentation for yourself. And that's what he waited for her to be able to do. Let's go. Because we got some pointers we need to hit on here. Is it that I'm the only person that noticed throughout that interview that they said, we heard Shorty was missing up until the time she became legal? So we just gonna skip over the fact that this was a missing child? a missing child. Was she actually missing, or was she kept in a place until she was able to show her face with him? That's what it is. She was kept behind closed doors so he couldn't show his flaws, meaning that he's a toucher. I don't feel comfortable with the fact that R. Kelly is in jail, and this man did the same exact thing that R. Kelly did. How old was Aaliyah when he started dealing with her? Now, maybe R. Kelly was a little thirsty and he couldn't wait for the age of grown to marry Aaliyah. So he went through the steps of having her parents, because, that's trafficking. That's child trafficking. They was child trafficking their child to someone that they thought was a superstar for a little bag. Let's put that out there. But they signed their rights for their child to be able to get married. Marques Houston just did it in a way that nobody wouldn't be able to block the marriage. So what he did was Shorty disappeared. She just disappeared. No, nothing. And then all of a sudden, the next time we see her, him and her going down the aisle. Now, if he could prove to me that he, or us, the people, that he did not touch that girl before the age of her becoming legal, because me personally, in my eyes, she's still not legal to be dealing with no 30-something-year-old man. And he said out his mouth that he knew she was the one, and he was willing to wait until she was legal enough to be able to do the things with him that he felt. Listen, what conversation that y'all was having that let you know she was the one? Talking about they connected over music and what else? Music is not going to let you know that Shorty is the one for you, okay? You could have went to you couldn't find a grown woman that likes, there's a lot of grown women out here that like music too, that relate to music, and they believe in God. So if you related with her to know she was the one due to the factors of y'all strong belief of God and the factors of music, I don't think God was a toucher. I don't think God approved of touches. I don't think God even approved of you having a conversation as an adult with a 15-year-old child. You're nasty. The situation is nasty and the outcome is nasty too. Because if people gonna sit there and play a blind eye, like we didn't hear that this girl was missing from 15 to 19, and nobody ain't gonna say nothing. Just nobody ain't gonna say nothing. Due to the fact that this boy, let's be honest, he been in training for a couple of years. Because Chris Stokes, yeah, you ain't in the clear. Because you got a little African Bambaataa in you. All right? Everybody out there at these labels be grooming these young kids, boys and girls, and they be putting them in situations thinking that they're going to gain more than what it is that they have. But they actually become collateral damage, because at the end of the day, let's just put this out there. Anytime a grown-up is willing to put a child in a adult situation, that's damaging. You sitting there conversing with kids as adults is damaging. Chris Stokes had all these boys living in a house together. The name of the group was Immature, but he was doing adult things with them. His story seemed kind of similar to Hassan Campbell's story with African Bambaataa. He's the African Bambaataa, and Raz B is the Hassan of the situation, the Hassan Campbell situation. And it's just sad, and this is why a lot of people in boys mainly, don't like to come out and tell their story against these people, Chris Stokes, Marques Houston, because I know you got a little Fruit of Loodle in you too. And now you sitting there trying to cover up your pedophilism. That's a word, y'all. Is that a word, pedophilism? Pedophilality, or you trying to cover up the fact that you a pedophile by saying that you waited a while for this girl to become of age, but she still ain't of age to monopolize on the situation with a grown man, as you say that y'all connected over God. What was you praying on that pom pom? Was you praying, God, please let this be the young pom pom for me? You know I like them young and sweet. Let me know. Because Tay with the T needs some answers. We need some answers. And I'm pretty sure my subscribers and the viewers, the people that's going to watch this video, they going to want answers too. And if we go back to that interview and actually dissect everything that you said, you're a criminal. And now, We like Criminal Minds. We just trying to put it together. I'm pretty sure if you ain't seen that show, it's a good show, right? But we playing the part of the show where we put A and B together to get C, because the D that was given out was too grown to be with an adolescent. Okay? That's where we going with this. So us the people. Marques, why was you talking to that 15-year-old girl having grown-up conversation where you saying that you was willing to wait the years that you waited for the years that she needed to be with you, but in the time of her becoming the age that she is to become with you, she was missing. Like a missing person report is a real thing. That means somebody went to the police and said, hey Popo, listen, I can't find my child. I don't know where she at. I haven't seen her. Don't know where she went. Can you help me find my kid? And then Shorty pops up years later. Hey, here I am. I'm married to Marques Houston. Hey, we believe in God and we like music. What? Now let me ask this question, because they got a baby, right? It takes 9 months for a baby to hatch inside of the belly. 10 months actually, that would be 40 weeks. Because I had a couple of these things called kids. Yeah, right. So I know that it takes the time of conception, mean you had to have the sex first, right? And then the sperm had to attach to the egg, right? And then it goes through that whole situation where things, and then you go through the process of the 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 month, 6 month, 7 month, 8 month, 9 month, right? And 10 months is 2 months shy of a 12-month year, right? So even if he got her pregnant within the midst of her 17 turning 18, or I'm gonna have to look into that for the facts, but it still would have been before the time of them getting married and becoming legal to be able to do the things that they are doing. I don't care if the baby was conceived after they got married. I don't think the thing is right. Period. Because I'm just gonna be honest, right? I'm going to be honest with you, because I don't know if my math is going to be mathing on this one, but you let me know if my math is mathing on this one, right? When I had my daughter, I was 15, right? So that means 15 years after that, when I turned 30, she was 15, right? Right? So Marques Houston was 30 talking to a 15-year-old. I'm just saying, this man can be her daddy. I'm just trying to, am I wrong? Is he not old enough to be her father? And what do a father have in common with the child, other than the factors of giving them advice and discipline throughout the life and future situations? A father figure is not supposed to be talking to a child about, listen, we connect. I like God, you like God. I like music, you like music. Where did they get in a comfortable space or a setting where he was able to get this 15-year-old girl alone to even be able to have these type of conversations? Inquiring minds, want to know. But R. Kelly in jail and now Bill Cosby is blind. Right? When Bill Cosby started going to court, that man still had some gray hairs on his head and he had both of his eyes. The next time you seen Bill going to court, nigga, he had somebody accompanying him. He had a walking stick and he was blind. Who did these people make mad? That their actions was no longer accepted. And that's why they are now being disciplined the way that they are. Listen, if you don't do what we want you to do, then everything that we know that you did will come to the light. Now, I wonder how long it's going to be before Marques pissed somebody off, or Chris Stokes. Well, Chris Stokes done pissed a couple of people off because he was out there touching people's sons. We ain't going to let that rest. We all seen when those boys was growing up and the mental outcome of the situations that he put those boys through. And how is it that, I understand family members or whatever, but he was fucking his little cousin. Ooh, I said the F word. I'm sorry, you too. He was doing his little cousin. I guess Marques Houston was the one that was down for the round. He gonna ride this till the wheels roll off, because he's the one that's still up underneath that man's wings. And why is that? Because they like the same things. He done put him in training. So now he's doing what he's seen him do. And now what it is that he's do is messing with the little people. He messing with the little people. And if you don't like this video, then this shirt is perfect for you. I am not for everyone. But make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Keep your girl alive. Ask Marques. Marques, why were you talking to that little girl? Huh? How did you know that y'all both was interested in God? I think everybody's supposed to be interested in God. Amen, amen, amen. If it ain't my God, it could be your God or it could be the God over there. But that's not normally things that a child and an adult could connect on unless you going to Sunday school where the kids is at and right. But anyway, this has been your girl Tay with the T. And if you see this on my Latte World channel, make sure you get on over there to my other channel, which is T with Tay, and hit that subscribe button for me, baby. Please. I'm asking you nicely. And I'm out. T with Tay, you get that T with Tay. T with Tay, you get that T with Tay.